Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 26 of the J Situation podcast. I'm recording this on August 4th, 2020. Man, what a crazy day today. Did you guys see the explosion in Beirut? Man, oh man. Yeah, Beirut, Lebanon. So, it's funny. My office and I were all discussing it today, and we were we were reviewing the footage and the explosion, and the damage and everything. So, at first we postulated. At first, some of us were like, "Oh, maybe it's a BLEVE, a boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion." Anyway, or maybe it was a chemical decomposition or something, because I've seen some really, really big explosions that happen due to the decomposition of a material due to certain factors. But then the more I watched it, I was like, man, this really seems like it seems a lot like the 1947 Texas City ammonium nitrate explosion. I was like, man, and looking at the cloud and stuff, and I was like, I wonder if there's like a fertilizer plant there or something. And then, sure enough, there was a warehouse nearby. There's like some kind of, I don't know, some place that caught fire, but then near the place that caught fire, there was a warehouse that had ammonium nitrate in a rather large quantity in the warehouse being stored. It kind of wasn't isolated from anything, so it caught fire, and then that energy was enough to cause ignition of the material, and you got an explosion, and it was a big one. It was a really big one. So super serious, super bad day for that country, for that city. Super bad day. So this is kind of what I do for a living. Part of what I do is investigations and analysis and modeling and testing and design. For systems to protect people from what you just saw today. Systems being, buildings, other types of structures. And to do that, we really have to understand the nature of the events and how they occur, why they occur, what happens when they occur, how do they influence the response of different systems, what else besides blast occurs. There's a lot of stuff. And so, yeah, that was a big deal today for me and my day job. So did a lot of stuff with that. Kind of looked at that. That was a big deal, and these real case studies are good learning experiences from a lot of sides and a lot of disciplines in the professional world, actually, not just what I do, but there's others that learn a lot from this. And so anyway, I just wanted to mention the event. I think it's pretty historic, honestly. It'll definitely be written about. It'll definitely be documented for a very long time due to the magnitude of the explosion. The magnitude was very large. We have had some similar magnitude explosions in recent history, but this one, due to the information age now, man. Oh man, that those poor people. So anyway, please keep the people in Beirut in your prayers. Beirut is a city. It's an important city, and they've rebuilt before. They can rebuild again. Okay, so other than all of that, and the COVID, and the media, and the stock market, and whatever else what's China doing now? What are they making ninja robots now? I don't even know. At this point, this is 2020 stuff, man. I don't know. So anyway, other than all that, how are you folks doing? I'm doing pretty well. So yeah, it's Tuesday night. per usual in these recordings. And I tell you what, I am getting very close to vacation time. Very close to vacation time. That is coming up in the next couple of weeks, and I am very excited. Very excited about vacation. So today's episode, as always, is brought to you by Pew Science, pushing the silencer industry forward one test at a time. Visit pewscience.com for the suppression rating, the simplest and most accurate hearing safe ratings for your suppressed small arms, and you can support this podcast, Pew Science, and our testing by joining at pewscience.com and also by rating this podcast 5 stars on iTunes so that iTunes and the general public will realize that silencers and guns are awesome. That is the goal. I think we can do it. The more people that rate it, I'm pretty sure, I can't tell you how many people are asking me about silencers that are brand new to guns. Is that not insane? I mean, think back 10 years ago. Could you imagine? What a time to be alive. Okay. I think this episode is going to be a quick one because it's late. And frankly, I don't think I have a lot to say today. But you never know. I have 5 topics for you, though. The first one, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the members' research supplement 617, 6.17 that I released to members last week. I recognize that the public hasn't been able to read that, but still I want to talk about it. That's the Razer, Sandman S, Trash Panda, and Radiant comparison. It's a 4-way head-to-head technical comparison of the sound signatures of those 4 silencers. We'll talk about that. Second topic, current favorite guns in the collection and silencer utility. So I'll try to talk about that, and by the collection, I mean my collection. I took a picture of them, posted with the podcast. We'll talk about some of the favorite guns I have that I like. Topic 3. I think I'm sticking with the Rugged Radiant for now. For hunting. I wanted to tell you guys that. But just because I have it, you know what I mean? But I kind of want a Hyperion K from CGS. We'll talk about why that is. We'll talk about that. Topic 4, new sound signature review this week. That's right. I have already written it, most of it, almost all of it. And it's coming. And I think I'm going to release a summary too. I think I have to release a summary because I've already kind of worked out a numbering system. So I kind of pigeonhole myself. So you guys are going to get 2 things this week. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. Topic 5. I really want to thank the recent new members of Pew Science. Several folks have joined recently, and that is very much appreciated. Okay. Topic 1. Members Research Supplement 6.17. The Razer from Rugged, the Sandman S from Dead Air, the Trash Panda from Q, and the Radiant from Rugged. So you got 2 Rugged silencers, a Dead Air silencer, and a Q silencer. Okay? Man. I hope folks liked the member research. I want to give a little bit of a glimpse into the results for those of you who want to know more about what it included. Okay? In the supplement that I wrote, I give quantitative metrics that demonstrate how the silencers sound in comparison to one another. Okay? In both first round pop and on average, and at both the muzzle and the ear. You feel me? So you're getting like 4 kind of things here. You're getting performance differentiation in the first shot, which can be very important because sometimes when you're using these silencers, you only shoot in 1 shot. Okay. Then you're getting a comparison of the performance on average, and then you're getting it both at the muzzle and the ear. So for both shooters and bystanders. Okay. Now, let's go a little bit. I'm going to give it a little detailed for you. So the results of the calculations, and the analysis show that the Trash Panda should, for supersonic 308 out of a bolt gun, have a lower tone than the Sandman S, for example. Okay, it should. According to the calculations, it should do that. Now, but another interesting conclusion from the analysis was that the rugged radiant, although it's a little bit louder than the Trash Panda, it actually might sound like it has a lower tone than the Trash Panda because its sound signature may excite the human ear a little more in the low frequency sound regime. And so, according to the ear models, that's what we're showing. So that was kind of interesting to me. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty interesting because you hear a lot of comparisons about silencers, and you hear folks talk about tone, and we've quantified tone in the research supplements, but also the power of the models we're using, we're able to look and see, well, what possible subjectivity could occur looking at the modeling results. Like, is it possible that someone might feel that the Radiant sounds better than the Trash Panda, even though it's louder? And the answer might be yes. It might be. I mean, they're pretty close, but these little things are starting to explain why certain people feel the way they do about sounds of different silencers, and putting it in quantitative fashion like this, showing it in black and white. Well, not black and white, because I use colors. I use colors in the graphs, okay? But I do in these research supplements, I do use symbols too, so that like if you were colorblind, you can still read the charts because they have symbols. I thought that was a good idea, so I did that. Now, anyway, back to this. So I sort of think of the Radiant as the rugged Trash Panda. And I know that's like really weird to say, but hear me out. Okay? It sits in that size and weight range that is really convenient for hunting. Okay? Really convenient. And it can suppress 308 when you need it to. It's not going to be the quietest silencer ever. Okay? But it does well enough to do the job you need it to do. You feel me? So, it has a tremendous advantage over the Trash Panda, however, in the area of durability, for example. However, it's much more durable. And so, that's not really related to sound, but it is something that differentiates it. And we'll talk about that more later on in today's episode, I think. But it is a differentiating factor. Okay. Now, I included the Razor in the research supplement because it was the latest silencer reviewed. It was reviewed in review 6.16. That's right. And that was published. Wait, was that published last week? When did I publish that? The week before last? I don't even know. Well, that was the last review I published. And so, the Razor, it's actually somewhat similar in size to these silencers. It's similar in size to the Sandman S and the Radiant and the Trash Panda roughly. But remember, on the last episode, I think I talked about the Razor and how it was sort of like halfway between the Sandman K and the Sandman S. So it's like one of those like mid-size compact, like mid-compact, subcompact, not subcompact. I don't know what I called it in the review. I know I called it something. I said something like, oh, I want to tell you. I'm going to look right now because I thought it was like a cool semi-compact. That's what I said. I said the Rugged Razor is a semi-compact silencer because it is. It's not really compact. It's not Kurtz or short. It's not a really short silencer, but it's not long either. It's not really mid-size. It's sort of semi-compact. I thought that was a good adjective to describe it. Now, I felt like these four silencers, the Razor, the Sandman S, the Trash Panda, the Radiant, I felt like they're often cross-shopped. I really did. Like when I see folks asking, like they're all similar size, they people might think they sound the same, but they don't. They don't. Okay, and so I wanted people to understand their exact sound performance differences. So I hope that was helpful. Okay, I hope that was helpful for the members to look at that. I can tell you that for me personally, these in-depth comparisons let me know that because I already have a rugged Radiant personally, I don't think I would get a Trash Panda for Supersonic 308 hunting. The sound signatures are much too similar for me to spend the money, I think. Now, because keep in mind the Radiant is so light. It's so light. So like what would I really be doing with the Trash Panda? You know what I mean? Like since I already have the Radiant. So unless there's some other stuff going on like accuracy or something, but I don't know, I haven't noticed that. So now would the subsonic 300 blackout performance be different between the Trash Panda and the Radiant? I don't know. Well, we're going to have to find out. I think I have some limited data somewhere to be able to make that determination. But I need controlled apples to apples stuff. So really I need that. I need a really good robust test series to really study that. And we're going to do that, okay? Obviously, you already know the background. Like we're acquiring hosts, we're getting ammo, we're doing all kinds of stuff. So I'm getting to the point, however, where I'm seeing technology that I want to pursue in my personal collection that's more advanced than this stuff. That's more advanced than the Radiant and the Trash Panda, okay? We'll talk about that a little bit later in the podcast. Now, I hope this research helped our members. I really do. Keep sending in suggestions of what to add to these type of studies. I really enjoy doing them. You're benefiting the whole community when you suggest them, when I do them. Yeah, this one's limited to members. Yeah, you can't read it unless you join. But hey, maybe someday you'll join, maybe not. But at least I'll give you a little bit of information here to kind of give you some key takeaways. I mean, there's some other stuff in there, but those are the high points, I think. I mean, you'll see the Razor in there, the Razor's louder. You knew that already from the sound signature reviews. But if you're interested in tone, I mean, that's the only place you're going to see tone quantified in the world for silencers. So there you go. Okay, topic 2. Current favorite guns in my collection. Isn't it weird? Like, and let's talk about silencer utility too, but I was going to say, isn't it weird as a gun owner when like you go through the stage, it's like you start, you're a new gun owner, you buy a gun. It's like your only gun. You're like, this is my gun. I love it. I just love this gun. I do everything with this gun. Somewhere along the line, we get into this thing where we get a lot of guns. And I don't know how it happens. It's happened to me. It's happened to everyone I know that has guns. And it's like, all of a sudden, you get this safe full of guns. You're like, how the heck? I can't shoot all these at once, But you can't get rid of them. And you certainly wouldn't. And then, you want to shoot them all. You can't. Sometimes I just think about some guns that I have. And I'm like, these guns are so great. And so I wanted to talk about some of those guns today. Some of them are newer, some of them are older. Mostly newer. The first is my registered my M16, my registered lower. It's an AR lower. It's a registered pre-86 machine gun. I'm gonna refinish that bad boy, I think, in a nice gray, something like that. It's gonna be cool. Anyway, shown in the photo that I'm posting with the podcast is the 7-inch upper I talked about last time. 7-inch 300 blackout. The lower still has the carbine receiver extension on it. The A5 buffer parts I talked about, I ordered those. They're going to be here Thursday evening, according to my tracking number. I ordered some stuff. So that will change a little soon. I'm probably going to put the A5 back on there. Represent. Um, One thing I noticed is that I think I need to use red Loctite on the little Q handguard turnbuckle. I'm pretty sure the instructions said red. I used blue because I don't know, because I didn't follow the instructions. And so it loosened. And so I had to tighten it back. I was like, damn. I don't know if it's like I didn't use enough Loctite or I didn't clean the part before I put the Loctite or it's because I used blue and it got hot because it's a machine gun. I think it's because I think it's a combination of stuff. Um, so I'm going to use red Loctite and let you know what happens with that. Now, this gun is on my favorites list right now just because it's a configuration I've wanted to build for such a long time, and just the upper that's on it right now, and it's very handy. It's a nice weight, size, capability. 300 blackout, man. I can't wait to get out to the range with it to put it through some real shooting time. You know, I'm super stoked about that. But man, these are busy times and COVID times and stuff, and I don't have as much time to play as I used to, and part of that is because of Pew Science, obviously. You know, I'm trying to do this for you guys. This is a lot of sacrifice and time. I don't want to make this a sob story, but hey, there are only so many hours in the day. So, you know, hey, maybe on vacation I'll bring my guns to the beach. I mean, let's be honest, I'm going to bring guns to the beach. Now, I have an EOTech EXPS on the gun. I forgot the number designation. I can tell you it has 2 dots in the circle. It has a circle, has a dot in the middle of the circle, then it has another dot. Okay, that's my EOTech EXPS. EXPS it has the QD lever thing built into it. I love that freaking sight. That is it. You know, the EOTech is actually a holographic weapon sight. Did you know that is not a red dot sight? It is a holographic sight, and that is complicated. I am here to tell you that is a complicated freaking thing, and it is awesome, and I love it. I really love it, and you know, I thought about putting a magnifier on the gun, and a lot of people love. You know, actually, I was going to tell you guys. I was talking about magnifiers with this one dude on Instagram. I forgot his name, and he's pretty knowledgeable about this stuff, and he's tried a lot of them out. And he was telling me that the aim point magnifier is like so much better than the EOTech magnifier, field of view wise and stuff. And he was telling me some other stuff too. I just can't remember off the top of my head right now. But so I don't know. For those of you guys looking for some of those flip up or flip to the side or whatever magnifiers, you know, I have a really cheap Sightmark magnifier that it's decent. But hey, man, I'm into the point in my gun stuff where I'm just gonna I go Gucci now. I can afford my life now. I'm just gonna buy. Let's be honest. I'm gonna buy whatever I want, and so that's just what it is. And so I don't know. Maybe I'll look at that. I thought about putting a magnifier on the gun, but the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, why? Why complicate this gun? You know, since I built that minifix at Q, so I'm probably gonna have a magnified optic on that, and that's a 300 blackout. That's an 8-inch barrel instead of 7-inch. So whether I put my Vortex Razor 1-6 on the for now on the minifix, or a pulsar thermal, because you know I have a couple of those, or maybe another lower power scope I buy. Maybe I'll get a Night Force Attacker, you know, because they're cool. Maybe I'll get one of those. They look neat, and plus I get one of those cool mounts and package deals I saw on the interwebs. They're not cheap. I don't know. I think that the 7-inch 300 blackout machine gun is more of a close range, kill everything I want type of gun. Like anything I want to kill that's up close to me is gonna die with the 300 blackout machine gun. I mean, that's a lot of firepower, dude. Like 300 blackout is no joke. It is no joke, and I can tell you, I can dump a lot of rounds pretty quickly with that gun. Talk about a truck gun. Man, with supersonic, I wonder what I could do. I wonder what I could penetrate with supersonic ammo from the 7-inch 300 blackout barrel. That's not going to go through. Is that going to... Well, I don't want to postulate because I don't know. I was going to start guessing, but I'm not going to even say it. But I do know that... I wonder if 300 blackout feeds okay from the Magpul drum mags. Do you guys know that? Because I have a couple of those drum mags. Maybe I should put 300 blackout in those. Oh, man. Oh, you know what I should do? I should put the Wolf steel case 300 blackout in the drum mags and then do a mag dump. That's what I should do. Maybe I'll do that on the beach on vacation. You know? I know what I should do. I should go to the beach, put the Wolf steel case 300 blackout in the Magpul drum mag, take my Pulsar handheld thermal and film a full auto 300 blackout drum mag dump at the beach. Yeah. That's a good video. Okay, I'm going to do that. Who am I kidding? I'm probably not going to do that. I'll be drinking Coronas if they have those beers now. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep a drum mag with me for reasons. Now, the silencer on the gun in the picture is the Rugged Radiant. You'll notice I had the Surge on there, right? Man, the Surge just doesn't go with the gun. I mean, it works. Obviously, it's quiet. It's not that heavy. I mean, it's heavy, but it doesn't make the gun not usable. It's not that heavy. I mean, I lift weights, but I put the Radiant on there. It just seemed like it fit better. It's just like, it's lighter, a little bit shorter. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for right now for that gun. The Radiant's light, but I'm just not sure it's the right choice for the 300 blackout. I think the energetic armament Vox that I have, it might actually be a little quieter with subsonic 300 blackout at the muzzle than the Radiant. I think maybe I think the Radiant's going to be a little quieter at the ear depending on the buffer setup in the gun. I mean, it's going to be so close. I seem to remember this from the 9-inch standard 300 blackout, the AAC upper with the non-adjustable gas block that I did some testing earlier this year with that upper. I think that the Radiant and the Vox are close for subsonic 300 blackout on that 9-inch. I think that's what I remember. Oh, I haven't done all the analysis though. I've only looked at the raw numbers. So if they're close, it could be there's some other stuff going on. I hesitate to say. Damn it. I haven't had time to do analysis. Now, so you're saying, so why is the Radiant on the gun? Why didn't you put the Vox? Well, I don't know. The Radiant's so light. It's so awesome. I mean, the Vox is light too. But, I don't know. The mount, I don't know, man. The QD mount, it beats the Vox in supersonic performance. I was like, oh, maybe it'll be good with a supersonic 300 blackout. I don't know. The Radiant, again, it's basically a trash panda that you can't break easily. I think I could fire supersonic 300 blackout full auto through the Radiant all day long. Well, maybe not all day long, but as much as I wanted. And I could, it'd probably be okay. I mean, not literally full auto all day. This is not, like, I'm not a commando here. But, I could fire a full auto through it, and I wouldn't worry about it. Now, would the titanium in the forward section spark? Yeah. You bet you it's going to spark. It's titanium. It doesn't like stuff like that. But the first few baffles are pretty dang strong. They're stellite and they're fully welded, so I'm not too worried about that. It might be that the Radiant or the Vox end up being my go-to 556 silencer choice. I don't know. These are my personal things. I'm talking about my personal gear right now, guys. Like, I'm not talking about like what you should buy. I'm just telling you what I have and like what I'm thinking about. I mean, I have a Razor too, but the Razor's not as quiet as these two silencers, and it's heavier. It's more for other things. Short 556 death is what the Razor's for. Now, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have a Surge, a Razor, and a Radiant. It doesn't make any sense. They're all different. But anyway, the future for silencers is crazy right now. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Now, the second gun shown is the M11. I talked about this gun last time. It is also a machine gun, a submachine gun. Because it fires a sub-caliber munition, a pistol round. I guess you could say the 300 Blackout machine gun shown is a submachine gun because the subsonic 300 Blackout is sort of like a sub-caliber round too. It's almost like 45. But the 300 Blackout machine gun doesn't know what it is. It doesn't know what it is. It has an identity crisis. Okay, so the M11 is there for obvious reasons. Obvious reasons, man. It's quiet. It's fun. It has a nice slow tungsten bolt. Great Lage upper. Comfortable. Looks cool. I mean, it's heavy, so I can hit you in the head with it. Oh, it just, it's like everyone wants an MP7, right? They're like, oh man, the MP7 is so cool. I'm like, you can't buy an MP7, homie, unless you're a dealer, and like that's a lot of headache to me. So it's like, then they're like, oh, I want to buy a TP9. I'm like, really? Do you? You want to spend thousands of dollars on a piece of plastic? Do you? Okay. Well, I got news for you. You don't want to do that. Okay. Don't buy a TP9. Save your pennies. Mow some more lawns. Wait some more tables. Whatever you got to do. And just buy a Mac. People are screaming. They're screaming at their phone right now. They're like, you son of a... People have gotten really upset with me lately for a variety of reasons. I don't know. People get really mad at me. I think it's because everyone's scared that I'm going to say something bad about their stuff or something. I don't know. It's fine. The second silencer in the photo is the SWR Trident 9. Yeah, I did a sound signature review for the silencer back in review 6.8. Let me double check. I'm on the website, right? Yeah, 6.8. So you should check that out if you haven't. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. It's old school, no longer made. Really like it. I finally met Joe, the dude who designed it, in person. That was cool. There are quieter silencers. There are quieter silencers available now, right now. What are some examples of quieter silencers in the Trident? We got the CGS Mod 9. You saw that. It's a little quieter. You got the AAC Tyrant 9, which I have not tested with PewSoft, but from all accounts, it is a quiet silencer. I believe the one from AAC now is modular. I don't know how that affects that. I think the Rugged Obsidian 9, I've tested that. I didn't test that with the P30L. I've tested that with a different host with some other people like a while back. The Rugged Obsidian 9 is quieter than the Trident 9. I mean, it better be. No, that's not, no, careful. I need to be careful of saying it better be, because at first I was going to say it's an evolution of it, but it's really not, because it's missing some key features of the Trident. But it is quieter, I believe. It is quieter. I think. I don't know how much quieter it is, but it is quieter. So, I don't know. I like the Trident because of some other reasons too. And man, it's no longer made. I hope I don't break it. Hope I don't break it. Maybe if I break it, Silencer Co. or someone will help me out, because Silencer Co. like for a short while had SWR after SWR sold to them and everything. So who knows? In the photo, the silencer is configured with the inertial decoupler on it. That is so it can function on a semi-automatic handgun. And so when I use it on the M11, when I use it on the subgun, what I do is I take that LCD, what's Joe's acronym stand for? Linear decoupler device. Inertial, it's an inertial decoupler, but he called it a linear decoupler device, and the C for the acronym was, hey, fine. You take the inertial decoupler off, and then you can put the fixed mount on it. And you put the fixed mount on there, and then I put it on the M11. And it actually, when you put the fixed mount on the Trident, it makes it shorter, which is cool because it's like super compact, or more compact. Now, the thread protector you see on the M11 is actually really cool. That comes off, and then you throw it on the silencer, and so on and so forth. Now, the thread protector provided by Lage, that one you see, it's kind of long. It has a little O-ring in a recess on the rear of it, and when you screw it on to the half 28, the half-inch diameter, 28 threads per inch threading on the end of the 9mm barrel for the Lage upper on the machine gun, because the standard threading, the half 28 standard threading convention is to have the muzzle devices index on the shoulder. There is a large shoulder on that barrel. It's like kind of like a flange, almost like a flange protrusion or flange outlay there on the barrel. There's an O-ring in a recess on the back of the thread protector that is compressed whenever you screw it all the way on. And what that does is you screw it all the way on, it compresses that O-ring, and when you let it go, I guess the O-ring keeps it from unscrewing, because it kind of forces it apart. So it's like putting pressure, and it's also creating friction force, or letting friction force occur between it and the steel. And so that's really clever. And the reason why it has a O-ring like that is because a lot of times people shoot machine guns unsuppressed because they're machine guns. And so I will tell you, the only time I shoot unsuppressed, like unless I have to like use my gun in self-defense and like I don't have a silencer on it, the only time like I would shoot unsuppressed is like when I'm shooting a machine gun. Because like sometimes like you just have to do unsuppressed machine gun fire. I mean, it's kind of like the rule that you have to do that sometimes. And so, yeah, anyway. But anyway, back to the Trident. I like the Trident because it truly is a dual purpose. It's more than dual, but for me, it truly is a dual purpose 9mm silencer in that, like many are, it's intended for subgun use, but it can be used on a pistol. But unlike some of these newer subgun cans that are intended for subguns but are good on a pistol, they're not, like this Trident's not really, really huge. And so it's like the original multi-use 9mm can. I just think it's iconic, and that's one of the reasons it's in the photo. I just love the way it looks. It's simple, it's clean, it's badass. The fourth gun, is it the fourth gun? How many guns did I put in the picture? Third gun? The third gun, fourth gun. The third and final gun in the picture is the handgun. It's the HKP30L. That's the pistol in Sound Signature Review 6.6, 6.7, 6.8. When I did that 3 bam 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 back-to-back those pistol reviews, that's currently my favorite handgun. My 9mm, my favorite current 9mm handgun. I love it. I have the Gray Gun short reset trigger in it. I've said that before. Has the LEM trigger system from HK. That's the variant of the pistol. The law enforcement modification. It's a HK's double action only system. It's very light, very extremely light. Like basically you cock the gun. I mean, you rack the slide, brings the hammer back. Hammer then goes forward again. When you go to pull the trigger, the trigger's extremely light. It's long, but extremely light, and then it breaks and fires. When the trigger resets, like the slide will cycle, come back. Your finger's still on the trigger. The effort to reset is very short, and then it's ready to fire again. So it is different than a Glock, in that a Glock is striker fired, and the trigger pulls the same on the first shot as the second shot as the third shot. But hey, HK is cooler. Anyway, it's a great gun. Factory HK threaded barrel. That's how I do. It's great. If I had to pick one handgun right now, if I only had to take one with me, you know what? The SIG P226 that I have, it might get left behind for the HK P30L. Strong words. That's how much I like the gun. Strong words, though. I recognize that. That's a really big thing to say. So hope I don't upset you guys too much. Now, those are some highlights right now about some stuff. Not a lot to say other than those are some of my gats, man. Those are some of my gats that I love. And I just wanted to share them with you in one photo. Yeah. A lot of times people post photos and they don't talk about the guns. I'm like, no, man, those are my guns, and that's why I like them. And I'm to the point in my shooting, in my gun career. Is that no? I'm in the point in my gun obsession where this is so stupid to say. I was gonna say that I'm to the point where I'm not gonna buy that many more guns, which is the dumbest thing. Because of course I'm gonna buy more guns, but I'm getting to the point where I'm really honing. I'm really honing in on what I really like. To me, what do I need? I need a submachine gun. Okay. I need a compact submachine gun like the Mac. I just needed it. I needed it. And I because I have a specific use for that gun, and it fills that role beautifully. It is a wonderful gun that is compact, that fits into a very small footprint, and the folding stock. I mean, dude, you flip out that folding stock on that M11, you are ready to rock and roll, and you are you got what 3 or 4 mags with you, 30 round mags. It's so small. Hey, you never know. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's that. I mean, come on. So I needed that. I mean, everyone needs that. And then the M16, I mean, no brainer. And then the HK P30L, it fits your hand like it was made for it. I mean, for mine at least. So, and it even has adjustable grips there's different panels if your hand is different. I mean, come on, man. Anyway, you gotta have, okay, what do you need? You gotta have a sub gun, forever. Awesome. You gotta have a 9mm full-size pistol, just because. Am I right? And then you gotta have that weird PDW that can do crazy stuff, like the 300 Blackout, right? Which is, in my case, another submachine gun, but a submachine gun that it can basically also be an AK. Because when I put supersonic 300 Blackout ammo in a 7-inch barrel out of that freaking machine gun, that's an AK, dude. As far as ballistics go, right? I mean, is it not? It's not really. It's not the same as a 7.62x39 supersonic. I don't claim that it is, but it's definitely not 5.56. It's definitely not 5.56. And I'm not talking about a far range thing. No. I'm talking about real close up stuff. And so those three guns, like, two of the guns share the same ammo. The P30L and the M11-9, those are both 9mm guns. One is really compact. You can carry it on your person. It's a handgun. Put a silencer on it when you need to do some stuff. One is a subgun where you can spray bullets into stuff when you need to do that. Okay? Two completely different weapons that use the same ammo. That's just how it is now. But the other one, the 300 Blackout submachine gun, that is a different animal. And the fact that it can be similar to the M11 when you have subsonic ammo in it, but then at the same time put supersonic ammo in it and just do some craziness is just, it's insane to me. So those are three things. Now, some bolt guns are coming, right? So we'll see. We'll add to the collection and kind of round it out. Okay, topic 3. Yeah, I said I was sticking with the Rugged Radiant for now, for hunting. But I kind of want a Hyperion K. Remember when I said that I thought I might get a Thunder Chicken? Remember that? I mean, I still might get a Thunder Chicken. And it's a cool silencer, I think. But I don't know, because what I do know is that I have a Radiant right now. Okay? I have a Radiant. Like, sometimes a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Is that the saying? So I have a Radiant right now, and it can still be used for hunting. Because, like I said earlier, it's basically the equivalent of a Trash Panda in supersonic performance, but more durable. So it has some varied use capability. Put on machine guns, blah, blah, blah. Now, there's another light and small-ish 308 silencer that exists. That silencer is the Hyperion K from CGS. Okay? Now, that silencer is just like the Helios that I tested. But it's titanium instead of steel, and it is direct thread. Okay, that's not all, man. The direct thread on the Hyperion K is actually a tapered direct thread, like the same taper on the SIG and Q barrels taper. You feel me? Like, the Hyperion K can be put on the end of a tapered barrel like the Fix. And the 300 Blackout Mini Fix, the full-size 308 Fix. Like, it's 5/8 24 taper thread. So I bring up the Hyperion K because I think it's a little over 10 ounces, which is super light. I'm here to tell you, if it's the same as the Helios inside, which I believe it is, it's quieter than most full-size silencers with supersonic ammunition. Okay? I can tell you that right now. The Helios is so impressive. You've seen the test. So yeah, I imagine the Helios that I tested, but in a 10-ounce package, but in direct thread to a hunting rifle, so it doesn't have all that other shit on it. What a time to be alive, man. I want to play with one so badly. Oh my God. I think that, well, you're going to have to wait to keep seeing reviews that are going to be released. Okay? But you're going to have to see this stuff. I think the technology in the Helios, the Hyperion technology, which is what it's called, is just more advanced. Okay? It's suppressing at a level that other silencers aren't. They just aren't. They're not doing what the Helios and the Hyperion technology in the Helios is doing. And we haven't tested an actual Hyperion, like the full-size Hyperion or the Hyperion K. We haven't tested that. But I will go on record as saying that if the Helios was just a little bit longer, like the Helios that we tested, if it was just a little bit longer, like a little bit bigger, it would probably be quieter than most 308 stuff out there. So that means that the Hyperion is probably going to be the quietest supersonic 308 rifle silencer out there, like that exists right now, like in the world, I think, unless there's something I don't know about. I mean, that's my educated guess. There could be something crazy out there we don't know about. I mean, I recognize that. If you asked me last year, what the quietest 308 silencer was, I might have said, well, no, I'm not even going to say that. I don't even want to spoil it. I don't know. This is just all based on what I've seen so far and all the testing I've done on the Helios. If what CGS tells me is true, which I think it is because I've seen the cutaway drawings, the Hyperion is just a longer Helios, man. It's just a longer Helios, and longer means quieter. So, yeah. So right now, be on the lookout for some stuff coming from CGS in the future, man. I don't know. I've had this data for months. Like, I did these tests a while back. Like, I've known the Helios is quieter, and I've known all the other silencers are louder. And I know, not all of them, but I just thought I wanted to say this because I know people are waiting a long time for some of this data, and recognize it takes me a while to be able to publish it all because in the way I'm doing it, because I can't just give you numbers. It would be stupid. So I have to like really take my time and like, no. You know what? Let me rephrase. I'm not taking my time. I'm going as fast as I can. But what I have to do is I have to do it right. And to do it right, it takes some time. And so I recognize like I had a thought the other day. I was thinking about this. I was like, man, if I was not me and I was listening to me and I listened to these podcasts and like I read the Pew Science articles, like I would be a little frustrated that I had to wait. And like I'm like, okay, cool. Well, then I'm going to start giving you little tidbits of information like this. Like the CGS Helios is super quiet. So if you want a really super quiet silencer and you don't care about the weight, buy it. Because you're not going to get quieter than the Helios in the same size. And in fact, when you go longer than the Helios with some other silencers, you're still not as quiet. Well, supersonic. And you can take that to the bank, guys. You can take that to the bank. It's crazy. It's quiet. You'll see the data, but don't like jump off in super crazy time land and go buy stuff without seeing data if you don't want to. Now, I mean, you're gonna see more data, I promise. I'm just saying, like, are you impatient? Do you want to buy a silencer right now for your 5.56 machine gun and also use it on your 30 caliber gun and have it be quiet? Then the Helios may be for you. Sounds like a commercial. Look, I don't get kickbacks. Okay. Anyway, I'm a fan. I was actually talking to Josh today from CGS, the designer of he invented the Hyperion technology. Like that's his thing. And we were just talking about the performance and some stuff about it that I thought was interesting. And yeah, isn't it crazy how, like, to me, like, as someone an outside looking in, like I just visited Q and that was great. I got to see those guys and see what they're doing. And I've spoken to other companies, you know, that are kind of big in the silencer industry, and then it's like CGS, it's like pretty small, and like they might have like the best supersonic suppression technology in the world. It's like so crazy to me. It is so insane to me because you would think with all of the different companies doing what they're doing right now, you would think that one of those would be doing that. But then you go to CGS, you're like, oh, no, you'd be wrong. CGS is quiet. It's like, and no one's going to believe it. No one's going to believe this. Like they have my review of the Helios, But I wonder if people see that, and I wonder if they're like, we don't believe it. Like, okay, well, tested a bunch. But right now, the really cool thing is because I thought I was wrong. Remember I told you guys about that? How like I told you guys I thought I was wrong when I first tested it. I told CGS that too. I said, hey, like I have to test your silencer again, not only because I forgot to change the end cap on one of the tests to get another data point, but because like every time I test it, like I feel like my equipment's not working right. Because I'm like, it's not like I'm getting an answer and then like I analyze it and I'm like, what? Why is it? And then I'm like, but it did sound good, but like, is it that good? I'm like, I don't like that. It still bugs me because I'm like, the dang thing doesn't make sense. Anyway, I mean, it does. I'm being a little bit hyperbolic in saying that. We know why it's doing what it's doing. It has a coaxial chamber. You can call it whatever you want and not call it coaxial, but look, the baffles are optimized down the chain for the flow state that impinges upon them. Paths can be adjusted. It's versatile. Change the end cap. Super durable. I don't know. I'm sure there's a freaking podcast episode where I talk about it. You can go listen to that. Let me see. Hey, why not? It's late anyway. I'm tired. Why not? Let me just click on my website here. Go to podcast. I'm going to scroll down. I'll tell you what it is. Oh, episode 20. Here it is. Yeah, episode 20 from the 24th of June of this year, a couple months ago. On episode 20, that was 6 episodes ago, because we're on episode 26 today that I'm recording right now. Is that correct? Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. So episode 20 is when I talk about the Helios test report. It's the second topic during that podcast, according to my captain's log here on the website. If you go to pewscience.com, like I know a lot of you folks listen to this on like iTunes or whatever, but if you ever want to see if you ever want to know what the podcast topics are from all the different episodes, you can see them here on the website. And I even put like a Google search on the podcast part. So like you can search for a topic and I think that points you to, like if I type Helios in that box. Okay, what it does is it pulls up everywhere it's actually everywhere on pewscience.com that I say Helios. And so it's actually a bunch of stuff. So maybe that's not the most useful search. You tell me. Anyway, I'm just saying. So if you want to know more about the Helios, check out episode 20 of the podcast. I think that it will be informative to you. And if you don't want to, that's cool. No problem. Okay, topic 4. New sound signature review this week, guys. And maybe even a new summary. Yeah. So, okay, pretty busy week. And yeah, but I'm going to hit you with another sound signature review. We're going to move into a different realm of 308 silencers now. So buckle up for that. These silencers, these ones coming up, they're a little bigger. Okay, they're a little bigger. So let's see what they can do. We're going to see how they compare to the smaller ones you've seen so far. How quiet can we make 308 is the question, right? So now what we've shown you some smaller ones. Not all of them, obviously. There's a lot of silencers out there, but we've shown you a smattering of small-ish to medium-size-ish 308 centerfire rifle silencers. So how quiet can we get it though? What if we made these longer? What if we used longer silencers? Similar silencers, but longer. What would happen? Well, you'll have to be patient and see. And this week, you're going to start to see that. Now remember, the 308 bolt gun testing should, for all intents and purposes, let you know the best 308 performance you can expect out of these silencers. I mean, pretty much, right? Because it's a 20-inch barrel. It's a bolt gun. There's no action noise. It's a long barrel, long-ish. Yeah, it's a long barrel for nowadays for 308. And so it gives, this is kind of an upper bound performance for supersonic 308. If you see a silencer in these supersonic 308 tests and it gets a performance rating and you think you're going to get a better performance rating on a shorter barrel, you probably won't. So like, keep that in mind. It's probably going to be louder on a shorter barrel to you because the silencer is going to be closer to your ear because it's a shorter barrel and the pressure out of the barrel is going to be higher. So it might behave differently, okay? Maybe. Okay? So another thing to think about is the characteristics you're seeing. The suppression rating relative to each other, okay? And the back pressure metric relative to each other should theoretically have a lot of carryover into supersonic 556 performance. I think. We'll have to see, because we know, if you remember on a very early podcast, on the first episode of the J Situation podcast, when I spoke with YHM, I mean, this was like back in the day, back last year or something, when I first started this idea of, I'm going to do a podcast about silencers. I sat down with Chris Graham, they're like the guys who own YHM, like him and his brother Kevin. So Kevin and Chris Graham from YHM. Looks like a family business, right? They're super cool dudes. Sat down with Chris from YHM and we were talking about one of his silencers, one of the YHM cans, which by the way, I was talking about this with someone today. The YHM QD mount is still one of the best QD mounts in the industry. By far. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That mount kicks the living crap out of so many QD mounts still. And it is old school awesome. Like YHM knows what's up, dude. They don't sleep on YHM. I said that before. Don't sleep on them. But what I was trying to say about Chris, though, we were talking about on that first episode of the podcast back in the day. We talked about how the turbo, because when I was there with him that day, I shot the Turbo K and the turbo. Those are both 556 silencers, and we talked about like the differences the things they change in their 30 caliber silencers versus their 556, and like what different, taking a baffle out or two might be better. And I think it has something to do with the pressure of the round. And like not only the pressure, but like the shape of the pressure, the pressure time curve. So the impulse, I think that has some inside the barrel. I'm not talking about sound. I'm talking about inside. I mean, I am talking about sound too, but I'm talking about inside the barrel. So right after uncorking, I think it's a little different. And so when I brought up the fact just now that the 308 results in the reviews should theoretically have a lot of carryover to the supersonic 556 performance of the same silencers, I think that's true in the way Pew Science is measuring, and our data fidelity should show and highlight things. But there's a caveat to this that may indicate things may happen where suppression ratings might shift relatively during 556 testing, but I don't anticipate the back pressure metrics to shift. So I think those the back pressure relative metrics, and like if a silencer is showing higher back pressure or lower back pressure than another silencer, that relative relationship should hold true. Now, whether or not it's numerically constant, meaning like, is it directly proportional? I don't know. But if one has a higher back pressure, there's no way it's going to have a lower back pressure on a 556 supersonic. You feel me? It's easy. I hope that makes sense. So I think that like if you're chomping at the bit right now to buy a 556 silencer, and you see one of the silencers that we've tested and you know how it performs for back pressure on a host, I'm pretty sure you can take the back pressure metric we have and you can then use that to like make your judgments on the next ones you buy. And so in the review summary that I released this week, along with the new sound signature review, that summary I think is going to help people with this aspect of it if they're shopping. Because in my opinion, this is just my postulation right now. I haven't like made this final decision for myself, but I wanted to give you guys my personal stance on what I think I might do, like for my personal guns. So like when I think 556 silencer, I'm either going to get a dedicated 556 silencer, or I'm going to use a 30 caliber silencer that's not that long, because I'm probably going to be wearing hearing protection with an M16 short barrel 556. You know what I mean? And so if I'm doing that, then I want something that's quiet because I don't want to wake the dead, but I also want back pressure that's reasonable and that I can actually tune out. I don't know if I have to tune it out or not, but sometimes you can tune it out with the gun. So I'm not saying you need a Sandman S or you need I don't know, what's another low back pressure silencer? A Trash Panda. I wouldn't put the Trash Panda on a short barrel 556 anyway. Like that's probably not the best. I mean, you can do it, but I mean, it's not going to take the abuse if you want to abuse it. It's titanium. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, so that means, okay, that all being said, looking at the short 308 silencers that have been reviewed to date, like the Razor. Okay, that's a great example. The Razor is a great example. Like that might just be a great 556 silencer for you. But again, I haven't tested the YHM Turbo. I mean, I've shot them and they sound pretty good. So, and I know people like them. And I mean, the Turbo K, by all accounts, people are loving it. So we got to test those things, man. I don't know. See, I started out like trying to help you, and now I'm like, now I'm telling you, just kidding. Just kidding. You should wait for the YHM turbos. But you should though. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to release a summary, a recap of what you've seen to date. I think it's going to help folks. I think it's going to be an article you can share with people. It'll be free. I think it's going to be a good guide. I think it'll be a good guide for straightforward comparison of all the 308 silencers you've seen so far. Sound good? Good. Okay. All right, fifth and final topic. So great. It's so great to have you folks here listening. And it's so great to have new members of Pew Science. It really is. I don't know what happened last week. I don't know what it was. I can't remember, but someone shared the podcast or someone did something, and I don't know what it was. Something happened on social media, I think, and some more folks joined Pew Science. And that was super cool, man. I saw a little bit of a bump. Some folks... yeah, I don't know where they found it, but I try to ask them. You know, whenever someone joins, I write an email to them and ask them how they found us. Some people respond, which is really neat. Yeah, so like that's good. Usually people don't. I don't know why. I don't know why they want to tell me. It's fine. They can be anonymous. It's fine. I saw a little bit of a bump. So Pew Science got that, and that benefits you, the person listening right now. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Yeah, because this is for everyone. So every time someone joins, it helps you. One thing I've been doing more recently, this is like a social media thing, I've done some really heavy interaction in Instagram stories, like really hammering those DMs, carrying some, sometimes productive, sometimes silly conversations like with you guys, and I enjoy it. When I have time, it's cool. Sometimes I don't have time, obviously. But if you guys enjoy that stuff, let me know. Like looking at the analytics, there are a lot of folks engaged with the stories. So if you folks ever want me to post a question for folks, I'll totally do it. You would be surprised regarding the answers we will get if you need that. Now, A lot of really knowledgeable folks out there are on Instagram, and they follow me, and I follow them, and a lot of them are way more knowledgeable than me on a lot of the topics you guys are curious about. And so if you send me a question and I don't know the answer, I think it's appropriate. If I think it's appropriate to like ask the hive mind, I'll do it. I'll totally do it. So, education is really the goal here. I really love helping everyone. I love helping everyone know what's going on. Don't be afraid to reach out anytime. I think I'm behind on some of the member email responses, though. I think I am. Sorry. So I need to get caught up on that, too. Sorry if I haven't responded in a couple days. I've seen it. I'm sorry. Or maybe I missed some. I got a lot of emails. I'm going to try to do better. I think I'm pretty much caught up. There might be a couple I've missed. So if I have, don't be afraid. Never be afraid to resend. Yeah. I almost want to go check and see, but I'm fairly certain I've gotten back to most of you. So thank you for listening to the podcast. Some cool data coming for you this week. I hope you like the gun photo. If you enjoy all this, if you enjoy what Pew Science is doing, please join at pewscience.com to support the testing, the podcast, everything we do. If you want, you can also rate this podcast 5 stars on iTunes. Remember, that helps us spread the word, and it makes silencers more popular, right? Or it'll help to spread the word about silencers in a way. And so by doing that, and by spreading the word about Pew Science, you're helping make silencers super awesome, because even in the results we've shown so far, people are realizing what works, what doesn't, what people like, what they don't, what's quiet, what's not. Hey, a lot of manufacturers are taking note of what we're doing. Some are happy, some are not happy. Okay? That's all I can say about that right now. Some are not happy with Jay. But hey, we're going to keep all of this going for all of you listening. It's what we're doing. It's just what Pew Science is doing. It's what I set out to do, and we're going to do it. And you guys listening deserve this. I'm a consumer too, and I'm going to keep doing it. Okay? PewScience.com, The J Situation, and Pew Science LLC on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Talk to you folks again soon. Bye.